This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you in part by the Daily Herald.
Well, Brad, a good start to the 12-13 season for you guys. Haven't lost a conference meet yet. What's kind of been clicking for you guys as a whole?
The chemistry of these guys is pretty good. They've really done a great job. We had a couple guys really step up and be strong leaders throughout the summer months and in the fall, getting kids together and getting them working and keeping wrestling in their head. And it's kind of carried over throughout the season, and more guys have kind of really latched on. And I don't think, and we've talked to them, we don't really have superstars. We just have a bunch of kids that want to win and they want to work hard to get better, and that's what we strive to do, is get better every day.
Your time here at Waubonsie, you've been here right around 10 years as the head man, been close to that elusive conference title. You were telling me that's one of the goals for this team this year. Definitely.
Last couple of years they've changed the way we do the conference. It used to always be at the conference tournament, and when Batavia and Geneva came in and we split into the River and Valley, it became a dual team championship. Last year we were competitive, but we fell short in some of our duels. We just we were learning how to win and lose closely and try to win big, and we've done a real good job of that this year. And we're deeper than we have been in years past. So we're just kind of one at a time. We try not to look ahead because we can't take anybody for granted. We're not that good that we can just forget about it and just show up. We got to go out there and perform.
And one of those times where you guys kind of, I would imagine, a little bit of a measuring stick for you guys. Hononegah and Glenbard North this past weekend in a quad at Glenbard North. What did that do to kind of maybe tell these guys, we're making some progress, but maybe we're not there yet?
Well, last week was just tough as a whole. We had three out of the 5 teams that we faced were top 12 teams in the state. We really thought we matched up pretty well with Hinsdale Central last Thursday, and we put in some, a couple wrinkles into the lineup, and they worked out for us. Unfortunately, a couple of the other matches that we thought we could get, we didn't. So So that was kind of a stepping stone for us. And then, like you said, Saturday going against those 2 teams kind of is the bellwether of, all right, are we for real, or are we still climbing? We're still climbing. There's plenty of stuff that we still need to work on, but we did get better at defending shots. We did get better at first move off of the whistle, kind of putting pressure on the guy on the top. There's certain things that we were real happy with. Certain things that we, were glaring things that we still need to work on. So
hearing you talk after the Hinsdale Central match, so the one thing that kind of stuck out to me was you mentioned that, in the third period you guys were giving up some points that you don't want to be giving up, and a lot of that you said comes down to conditioning. It seems like with wrestling that's something. Conditioning is constant. Is that just the nature of the sport?
Yeah, it's 6 minutes doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when your whole body is into it and your mind is into it, and you're going at a fast pace. It's one of the tougher sports you can have, and there's no substitute for being in condition. You're either able to do it or you're not, and so we're pushing them. We're not trying to peak right now. We're still working to wrestle our best, and right now I don't think we have. So we're still pushing them to try to kind of break through their barriers. Mental and physical.
When we look at some of the names that you guys lost from last year, Elton Manuel, Malcolm McSwain, a couple really good other sectional qualifiers, guys that had been good for you for multiple years, all lost to graduation. Did you kind of expect this early season momentum from this team here this year?
I did. I think this is a pretty talented group. We did lose some big points and big names for, between those 2 guys and Adam Zott and Luis Cisneros. But that was pretty much it, so it wasn't a big number, but they were all contributors, and we had guys that were kind of sitting in the wings that were just as talented, just couldn't break through the lineup. The way it kind of fell into place, I think we actually have a stronger team with these guys than we did at that point, because it's just spread out a little bit more.
Jimmy Davis at 138 is a guy that has produced last year and kind of picked up right where he left off this year.
Yep.
What does he kind of bring to the table?
He's one of the guys that really stepped up being a leader. Since he's been with me wrestling varsity since a freshman. I told him basically I get you as a senior for 2 years. I go, you're not a junior. You're a senior. I need you to step up. I need you to become vocal. I need you to be, lead by example. And he does that every day, every second. He never takes a day off. He never takes the easy way out. He just works hard. And just to see him kind of develop and get hungrier and hungrier as time goes on. So,
what kind of offensive style do you and your coaching staff, kind of try to put into these guys? I imagine a lot of it now is maintenance and trying to figure out little things. But when you're installing at the beginning of the season,
we really wanted to put on a high pressure offense where keeping the other guys off balance and so that we can work on our offense instead of them working on theirs. And outworking them from the beginning. We've talked about breaking our opponents, and it takes 3 periods to do that. And if you wait until the second period, you're not going to really be able to break them, for anything meaningful in the third period. You got to start it from the first whistle, and kind of just instill your will against him. So that's kind of what we've been talking about all year.
With the schedule that's so diverse as far as you guys have this year, kind of out of conference. Do you see a lot of different styles from the different conferences, from the different areas throughout the state?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every school, every area kind of has their own little niche. Just like in football, some places you see the option all over the place. Some places you see West Coast offense. It's the same thing with wrestling. It's the people around here. There's a lot of physical presence on the mat, and that's definitely one of the things that we're striving to get, through to these guys is, use heavy hands, kind of don't give them a choice. When you go, you better bring everything you got to get that takedown. Can't go halfway.
Definitely. We go back a couple weeks ago, Glenbard East, you guys in a quad with them, another big match for you guys. Tied at 36, Sean comes in, gets that big pin. How big was that moment, early in the season for a team that's still trying to figure out what it's about?
It was great, kind of the way our season's laid out. I'm really happy with, the progression. We had some big wins early that came kind of easy for us, that are feel-good things, and you get the good taste in your mouth and you want more. And then to have the Glenbard East match right at that time was great. We had a couple big matches early that really made the difference at the end. Yes, Sean came in and finished the deal, but there were a couple of guys earlier that really stepped up and scored some pretty big wins for us. Jake Laws got one right at the last second reversal and back points that would have been a loss if 10 seconds more. Willie Hampton at 106 was kind of gave up a lot of points in the beginning, and he came back and got a pin for us. So that was a big turnaround. So those guys winning those matches gave Sean the opportunity to put it over the top for us.
You've done a lot of looking back, looking forward. You guys head to DeKalb next week for a unique kind of thing, a dual team tournament.
Yep.
How cool is it, or different is it to get these guys kind of just in a different mindset a little bit?
It's, the first couple of years that we went, they struggled with it because, they didn't understand why we would go to that instead of an individual tournament. And as the years have gone by, and now that we have a stronger dual team, it's making more sense to them, and they're actually fired up to go and win as a group.
For sure.
And without having the number 1 or 2 ranked kids, or real high placing or ranked kids in the state, it's just a group that wants to win together, and they've been doing a great job of doing that and fighting for it. So I'm looking forward to next week and see how we do at the end of the first half of the season, and going to make a push after January to the most important time.
For sure. Well, Brad, got a lot on your plate. We'll let you get back to it. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.